Hi guys. So I've spoken before, and I think probably a little more frequently in recent videos about kind of maintaining your bottom line. So as a business, it's much more important to do that than if you're kind of just teaching on the side or teaching like kind of like a favor class for your wife's friends or something. Um, so when I first started, I took on this class that originally seemed like a good deal. And when you don't have any classes, or you have like one or two, really any class seems like a good deal. It was an away class. It's about 6 kilometers away, which is a little over 3 miles. What would that be? Anyways, I don't want to get into it. I'm kind of tired now, just between classes. And three kids about 6 kilometers away, which with the traffic lights here in town, usually averaged out to about 20 to 30 minutes. 45-minute class, and then come back to the school on Friday night. Um, so it's effectively about a little over 2 hours of schedule time was knocked out by this class. And originally it was pretty profitable. I mean, much more so than it would have been if you were teaching the same class and working at one of the chain schools or something. But eventually one kid left, and um, as the schedule started to fill in, um, I realized this really wasn't a good class. And if someone were to call me on the phone and say, "Do you want to do this class?" I would have said no. But here I was every week doing it, and it was getting to a point where um, it was really just knocking the whole thing off, like all my energy for the next day and a lot of time with my kids and stuff away. So and it was weird, like every time there'd be something would happen, something would come up, oh, I gotta go to this class, like on the other side of town. And I started debating with it and talking with the mom, like, so your oldest son is going to junior high soon, hint hint, and because mostly these kinds of classes, the kids will drop out when they hit junior high. They'll come back maybe to a different textbook or something later on. Anyways, long story short, I was getting really at my wit's end teaching this class. And I was, from a business perspective, I was getting ripped off teaching this class. I don't mean to sound ungrateful. Like, what are you talking about? They're paying you this much to go out there. It's your job. I understand that. But if you put things into perspective, um, you really only have so many hours available to sell to people as lessons. And especially, so basically in Eikaiwa, it's the real prime time is like between 3 and 8, and maybe up until 9 for adults classes. It's I've taught classes till 10 or 10:30. I'm not a really big fan of it because it's kind of hard to stay awake. Um, but if one class is taking 2 hours, between a little more actually, between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. So let's say, what is that? That's approaching like 10% of your available teaching hours on the weeknights, right? So, and for the day, what is that? Let's be nice and say 3 to 9. So that's almost a third of your available teaching time is knocked out by this one class for one day. Um, doesn't take a genius to see that that's not a good deal unless the class is profitable enough to cover that time, right? So really, you'd have to be making a pretty good amount of money, like between 1 or 2 mon, to really justify that kind of time commitment. So I just kept bugging me. It was like, what am I gonna do here? Like, this lady's not gonna let go. And that's another thing. When you give in to like a subpar deal, where they know they're getting a deal, and like when someone's coming out to your house, and all you have to do is just do your thing. You don't have to go drop your kids off or pick them up. That's a really good deal, and they're not gonna let go of that. And I hate that feeling when you're getting ripped off, and you're giving them the service, and like it's not good. Okay, it's not healthy. So long story short, I debated it and debated it. I posted on this forum on Facebook for English school teachers, or owners actually. I think that there's also teachers on there who are looking at going solo soon. And I explained the situation as objectively as possible. I just said, it's this time of week. I started the class as a favor when I was just starting out. And I'm looking at the situation now, and it's kind of this like black hole in the schedule and in my life, because that stuff is hard to, it's like, God damn it, why am I doing this? So anyways, be that as it may, the response was kind of surprising. Everyone was just saying, down this list, get rid of it, be apologetic but be firm, be vague but be firm, tell her you're not going out there anymore, don't do this to yourself, stuff like this. So that was kind of encouraging, because when you get tired and you're busy all the time, little things can irritate the heck out of you. You know that saying, don't cry over spilt milk? Sometimes you feel that way, where it's like, just the smallest little thing, it feels like you're just gonna lose your mind over it. So it's like, am I okay doing this? So anyways, I just said, okay, obviously this community here feels this way about it. So what's this? Oh, it's a student. Hold on. あ、こんにちは。あ、今月の月謝です。あ、チケット。はい。月謝も払っている？ Okay, that's right. Okay. ちょっと待ってね。明日結構時期。Yeah. 楽しみ？ Yeah. Alright. 500円？ Okay. Okay, yeah, I will. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. Have fun in Osaka tomorrow. You're welcome. 風邪ひけないように. Bye bye. Is that your mom? Mama, your mom? Oh, I don't think I've met her. I'm going to say bye bye. Bye bye, しますよ. It's okay. Okay, bye bye. Okay, sorry, so that was a student kind of just dropped in. Really nice girl. She's a year 1 in high school. And she's doing like a fundraiser for her school. And she's selling tickets for this orchestra performance. But I said I can't go, so I bought the ticket. There it is, right? Just to be nice. So anyways, yeah, the Facebook group, they were really supportive and just said like, dude, don't do it, you know. So I felt encouraged by that, so I just wrote her an email and said, I can't do this after April, I'm sorry, it's too far to go, it's really inconveniencing a lot of other opportunities for the school and also time with my family, but if you're willing to come here are some lessons your kids can join. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu, right? That's what they always say in Japan, which is kind of just like, yoroshiku is like goodly, if you were to translate it. Yoroshi is like good, and yoroshiku is literally changes it into an adverb, and then onegai shimasu is basically like an extremely polite form of please, or it's my wish, or something. So that was it. And then the next day, I was kind of like, oh man, should I have done that? Like, that's my wife's friends, like, I don't know, I'm just my coworker and stuff. But then I thought, you know, I don't have to involve my wife, just be objective about the situation. And this class sucks, and I don't know, I'm not, it's not that I don't want to, I'm not going to teach it anymore. It's killing the schedule, that's it. And so I was just resolved with it. And the next morning she emailed back and said, okay, I understand. Can you tell me when the classes are? I don't think she felt particularly pleased by the situation, but people have a way of realizing things sometimes, and in this case, what can she do? Nothing. I'm not teaching it. So, yeah, it's kind of events, but I've been there with other schools where you just teach these horrific classes at like terrible times of day, and it's obviously the parents just want you to be there, and they don't speak English. They have no idea what kind of progress the kids are making, and your boss just wants you to go there because he's going to make money from you. And you're in the middle. I had this friend who used to call it being a dancing bear. So as an owner, you should avoid at all costs taking on any dancing bear classes. You know, don't sell yourself short, which is what I did, and I'm never gonna do it again. That was it. That's the last one. Learn to say no, and gosh, if you ever have to, if you find yourself in a situation where you're not winning, you're losing. Even if you're making money, you're knocking out potential to make even more money. That's losing. It's not winning. Don't do it. So, anyways, there it is. Just kind of wanted to share a case history of someone deciding to terminate a class that was not a good investment as a business. It can be done. I don't know how many people do it, but I doubt I'm the only one. Most people, what owners will do is they'll shift it onto a different teacher, like, here, you take this class. And I've had that happen too. And I don't have any staff right now, but I like to think I wouldn't do that kind of thing to one of my own staff, because my biggest mistake was taking on this class in the first place and not recalculating prices when student numbers changed, or not discounting it altogether when student numbers changed. So you need a minimum, kind of a minimum for whatever type of lesson you're teaching, and if it's ever goes below that, it's time to make some changes. So anyways, I don't mean to sound arrogant, but I'm just trying to kind of throw it out there about how if you're nailed to the wall by a situation and it's really not a good situation, not a fair situation in a business sense, as an owner or whatever, you don't have to deal with that. Just be polite about it. Anyways, I've jabbered enough, so there it is. Thank you as always, guys. Any questions, any comments, feel free to listen. I'm sorry, feel free to ask them below. Okay, bye-bye.